It's just part of business. And this is also a tax write-off, advertising and marketing. So once you do organic stuff, see it working, you're like, okay, it's working, people are engaging with it, let me give a great product, now it's time to invest and put some advertising dollars and see if you can flip that.
You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. The show is designed to help you grow your mobile app audience and get advice from experts in your industry. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
That's right, folks. It is the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, where we will help you as an artist or a business owner become successful at your brand. I am the architect, Sean Garvey. Make sure you follow us on all social media at BV Mobile Apps, and we are the official mobile app provider for the Fleet DJs, Nerve DJs, and Core DJs. I want you to stick around because towards the end of the podcast, we are going to give you more information on how you can get your app customized through BV Mobile Apps, and we also have some additional details at the end of the podcast and after the podcast, so stick around for that. On the telephone lines with me right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast is a successful based entrepreneur who co-founded a 24-hour junk as well as Heatwave Multimedia. To give you a little bit of backstory behind Heatwave Multimedia Incorporated, it was founded in 2019 and it serves as a media hub and creative platform designed to promote and market amazing, talented musicians from around the world. And today's topic, of course, right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, we want to give listeners the top 3 tips for promoting your brand. And I have an opportunity and a great honor to have this gentleman on the telephone line. He is the owner and founder of Heatwave Multimedia. We have Mr. William Mutavo right here on the telephone line.
How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing, mister?
It's an honor for you guys to have me, man. I feel privileged, man. It's amazing. I don't do too many podcasts, so I'm excited, man.
And we can't wait to hear all the great information that you are willing to share with our listeners today.
Awesome. Yeah, so what's going on? Let's rock and roll.
So Heatwave Multimedia, I gave our listeners a bit of some information about your company, and you do a lot. You are a business owner. You also an artist, a musician, and the company also houses photographers, videographers, and other talented people that are a part of your brand. How did this multimedia company come all about?
Well, where I'm located in the world, I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So, when it comes to music, we have a music scene up here in Canada. Of course, you guys know Drake, like Toronto and everything. And the whole country has a cool little indie music scene, but we don't have any majors or anybody signing anybody over here. So everybody's forced to get their own studio, find their own beats, make their own beats, distribute their own stuff independently where we're at, right? And even if it doesn't make it out the country, it bubbles in our city, in our area code. So just been after Drake and after Tory Lanez and a few more underground guys started going global, guys like me started just making their own kind of blueprint. That's their own Def Jam, where we have our in-house booking agents, managers, in-house lawyers, in-house studios, in-house everything. So it was kind of a natural thing that we learned up here. And then it just, as times grew on, everything went online, so it was just easier to distribute and get our stuff around the world and across the country and things like that with you guys with the app, getting people like you all the way in Georgia knowing about us, websites, Spotify, YouTube, all of that. So we just started being independent and trying to be an independent major. And, the blueprint was there, from the Jay-Z's and everybody. So we just implemented it to our lifestyle, and that's how Heatwave Multimedia came about. And we put on our own shows, we put on our own tours, everything independent.
Everything independent, and I like that. I like how you are one of the many platforms and multimedia companies out there that cater to the independent crowd and to the people who may not get that big break on a mainstream level. So I like to definitely dive more into that. Video services, beats, and more. You have it on the website, heatwavemultimedia.com. And we're going to allow you to share some more information about Heatwave Multimedia in just a few moments. But I had a chance to go onto the website, and I saw the videos that you were in. And like I said, you are a entrepreneur, you are an artist, you are a business owner, I mean, you do everything. Do you even direct your own videos?
You know, I write the songs, so I come up with ideas. So like where I'm at, like some of these kids, they know how to like edit the videos and make it look professional, but they might not have like the creative ideas. So I'm like, yo, I know where the spots are. I know how I want it to be. So sometimes I am directing the videos, but I'm not editing them or anything, but I'm definitely giving them a blueprint. And hopefully, you know, as a team, they can execute and add their own sauce to it. But I got my hands on lots of things, not because I'm like a control freak or anything, just that I'm just leading from the front. You know, so, I mean, if I don't do it, most of the guys around me are just like, they're satisfied with just like keeping stuff local and stuff, where I'm just like trying to like kick down the door and show them like we got some crazy life to live, you know, and just chase our destiny and our dreams. And let's go to Georgia, let's go to New York, let's go to Dubai, like, you know, and that's what I'm like. But, you know, the reason why the passion, the reason why I'm like that, I'm not born in Canada or North America. I'm born in Africa. So it's like, when I came all the way out here as a little kid and with my family and my culture, they're just looking at me like, yo, go crazy, make something out of yourself. Like you're out here. For me, it's like every day is like I'm just like I just feel like going crazy. Like there's so much opportunity. I'm not looking at it like I'm comfortable. I'm just like, yo, what? Let's do it all. This is nuts. Yeah. You know, so the whole time since I was a little kid, I just been trying to go crazy because maybe I'm not from here, and I still feel that blood in me.
Yeah, it's a culture shock coming from one part of the world to the next and having to be a part of the culture and experience the new sound and the new wave of music, and you just want to be a part of that and make something out of it. And you have definitely made a huge name for yourself in the underground hip-hop scene to where now, fast forward, you have Heatwave Multimedia and you giving back to the artists that started out the same way that you did and you paying it forward at the same time. And that's why we're here today to go over the top 3 tips for promoting your brand. Even in the climate of where we are in media and in music, it's very important that your brand is your signature and that it takes you to the next level. When you're dealing with industries, you know, whether it's radio or music, television and film, and you may be a fish out of water, you go to the big wigs and the higher ups and say, hey, I am an artist, I am a talent, I'm ready to get on. They will look at you and ask you, who are you? What are you doing here? What are your credentials? Like, it happens to a lot of aspiring people. So before we go into the top 3 tips, talk to us about the journey of you being one of those fish out of water type of people and you coming into the industry and you know, you here to do what you love doing. What were some of the drawbacks in your earlier years as an artist, coming across people that didn't know who you are or you didn't have that household name yet?
Yeah, it's definitely about bringing your ideas to the market. You know, like I see lots of kids even today who are like, you know, 18, 19 years old, and I'll pull up to their studio and their computer will have maybe 150 songs they've created, but they never brought it to the market. They never shot a music video properly, put a campaign behind it, put it on blogs, push it for 6, 4, 5 months. Then after that buzz, drop another one, bring it to the market again. So you keep building your brand. I feel like I've been doing this before like YouTube and Instagram was like booming. Like I was doing it on the mixtape days where like we'll do 3 months in the studio, get 15, 10 songs, press it on the mixtape, buy 500 CDs or 1,000 CDs, and then hit the streets, right, and get it in the market. And after 6 weeks, everybody knows a song or two on your mixtape, and then now you're throwing a show, and then 100 people are pulling up and knowing your song, right? Like, it's just putting it in the market, always bringing it to the market. And when I say bring it to the market, bring it to iTunes, upload it, like every day, upload your music. Don't just like sit on your music. Bring it to the market ASAP, as soon as you can. And find out if it hits or if it doesn't. If it hits or if it doesn't hit. If it doesn't hit, okay, go create another song or bring it to the market again. If you go on my website, I got like 20 music videos. I brought stuff to the market, and because I brought those songs to the market, the type of people that are on my network are all types of people. I know architects, I know dentists, doctors. They all listen to my music. Lawyers. You know, my lawyer, who's my lawyer, came to me because he's a fan of my music. My accountant, they came to me because they're a fan of my music, or they see me at a show, right? So it's like all these things help me in life. But if I never brought it to the market, I wouldn't be where I'm at. The first job I ever got was for a corporate catering company. But before that, I would give a resume to lots of jobs. I would get all the way to the final interview where like if I'm gonna get the job or not, and I would never get the job. So the last job I tried, I gave them my CD, my mixtape. They listened to it. They came back like, "Hey, you sound like Kanye West. You're hired." Wow. I mean, bring stuff to the market, man. Like that's what happened for me. So that's why I understand about making Heatwave Multimedia, because I know all these other little black kids in my city. Ain't nobody trying to hire them but me, because they sag their pants. Ain't nobody trying to hire them but me, and I'm gonna show them how to get it. So that's why I got Heatwave Multimedia. I got 24 Hour Junk. I tell kids, get in where you fit in. You want to do music? All right, this is a studio. You know how to mix and master? All right, I got some people that pay for that. You know how to make beats? You know how to do this? Go here. If you want to work and make some money in the morning, I got my 24 Hour Junk. So I kind of made like a little thing to help these kids grow up, because I never had nobody do that. The only thing that when I was coming up was just a street. It was like music, or you're just gonna get into the street and somebody's gonna put you on some kind of play where you can make money so you can finance your street or your music career. For me, that just let me dodging the cops all day. I had to figure it out. Because I made enough money, I bought a junk company, put the two together, music and junk, and it's been helping everybody. And now I got a gang, instead of a gang in the street, I got a gang of kids working in the studio, gang of kids working on junk.
Okay, well, you know what? And it's so interesting you said that, going back to what we said earlier about you co-founding 24 Hour Junk. And it's incredible because it's a game changer for a lot of people that are coming from the independent scene or already in the independent scene. And so the transition from 24 Hour Junk to Heatwave Multimedia, you chose the direction of expanding your brand. You didn't only want to just limit your brand to just 24 Hour Junk, but you want to expand your horizons to a broader audience and make that platform into something that will cater to everybody's needs. So as an artist, let's say me and you, we are having a meeting face to face. And as an artist, I need to do much more of a better job in promoting my brand. So I want you to go ahead, as a business owner like yourself, go ahead and give me, an artist like myself, and to artists that are listening to the BV Mobile Apps podcast, the top 3 tips for promoting a brand. Let's start off by going to the bottom first and working our way up to the top, which is number 1. Number 3.
Number 3 will be, make sure you get on all 3 social media platforms. Now, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 or 3. I'm talking about all of them now, because these are all tools for you. So there's YouTube, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's LinkedIn. These are all free things. Like all the free things, and not only get on them, upload on them every day. And don't only upload 1 or 2 things, upload 10 things every day. Because at the end of the day, it's about acquiring more fans, acquiring more customers. So you're not going to be able to acquire a whole bunch of customers by uploading 1 thing a day or 2 things. You're not going to make a big splash in this world. But if you can be in front of people's faces for free every day, you got to commit, jump in the water when you're 2 feet in, and upload at least 10 things a day, every day. That's the first one.
So you're emphasizing upload 10 items to your social media platforms a day. 10 items.
Yeah. So therefore, you might need help, right? As an artist, you might need to hire a buddy to work as an intern, right? As an intern for experiences for a project. So you'd be like, yo, I need you to do 10 uploads a day. That doesn't take a lot of time for somebody who's not doing music, who's not creative, who just uploading. They're already on their iPhone a lot. Just upload 10 times a day, man. Once every 2 hours, something. It doesn't even have to be a picture of you specifically. It could be informational posts about your sector of business. That make that one upload so people can do it. Okay, building trust, and upload what you think. But you need 10 a day.
Okay, so you saying that an intern or even myself, if I choose to do the work, upload 10 items a day. It doesn't have to be a picture. It can be a picture, of course, but it can also be a video or just a post promoting myself as an artist to keep people updated and aware about any projects that I'm maybe releasing, or just some backstory of who I am as an artist.
Yeah, or however you're feeling, whatever's on your mind for the day. But every day, you got to start some momentum and show people how serious you are. Especially with how many artists, how saturated the sector is, and how the industry is. You got to splash with at least 10 a day, right? So that's why it takes a staff or it takes a team. You got to have another buddy who you're like, yo, make sure you do 3 uploads a day. You do 7, or he make sure he does 5 a day. You do 5 a day. You and your manager, or you and your buddy, right? And that's how it's got to go down. Or you and your mama, you and your sister, whatever. Make sure she does 5 and you 5. You'll see some results. Then after that, you might want to scale and turn up from there.
Okay.
Or you can bring it down or whatever.
Sure. Let's stay on number 3 for a second before we go to number 2.
Yeah.
We as social media consumers, we experience the good, the bad, and the ugly of using social media platforms, from Facebook to Twitter to even Instagram. And when you're promoting a brand, depending on how you are promoting your brand on social media, it can make or break you. What are the do's and the do nots when it comes to promoting your brand on social media?
Okay. The do's, of course, don't be disrespectful. You know, I mean, that can help you too. It depends what you're doing exactly, right? Because I've seen pages where they have just disrespectful pages and they have lots of fans on there, right? Like, there's lots of just meme and troll pages, and so people make a business out of that as well too, right? But it really depends on what you're trying to, what your industry is. But if you're a musician, it's crazy because it's almost a circus, right? Like, shock value can happen too. Like, you can shock people with a crazy, ridiculous post, and that can help you. Like 6ix9ine, he gets crazy views, crazy attention, and people come to his show still, and he still has a fan base, even though I'm not the fan base, but he still has a suburban white fan base that doesn't care. But there's really no manual to how you do it. You just have to go, right? And then once you see what's working for you, you just do more of that. Once you start seeing things that aren't working for you, you just try something else. But once you start seeing things that are working for you, what people like, what's giving you more likes on different types of posts, start doing more of that. That's why, instead of just doing 1 or 2 posts, it's better to do 10. So you see what people hate on and what people like on. Then you're like, okay, you're only like on that 1 or 2. Let's do more of those.
Okay, now that's a don't. That's a don't when it comes to social media. Don't be disrespectful. What's another don't before we go into the do's?
On social media, don't abandon your fan base. So when you start growing a fan base and you start having 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, don't go from 10 to 1 post because you're scared that your likes won't be as much as the last post. You gotta go crazy because all these people are actually on your page, coming to your page every day so you can entertain them. So now you have an obligation once your fan base grows. So once your fan base grows, I see lots of people, they just post less, or they stop doing what got them there as much. They're scared that they're gonna get judged on this video, or they start putting out less videos. Like, I see comedians that come up on the gram, and they used to upload maybe 3 or 5 videos or 10 videos a week. Then once they start blowing up, they're only doing 1 a week, twice a week, once a month, So I just say, once you get that fan base, don't change what got you there, Just go crazy.
Right. I agree. And to add another don't to that aspect, don't come half-stepping on social media. And in other words, don't put out material that are half-baked. I've seen images and illustrated stuff on social media where the image doesn't look right. It looks like it still needs more work to be done. I know you have came across that in your line of work, having to be on social media all the time. But just do not come half-stepping. And most importantly, in the caption area of social media, you want to make sure that your grammar and your wording is on point. And we talked about this in the last podcast that we did with a previous guest, is that when you are writing content or putting in your caption description, you want to make sure that your words are spelled correctly. Sometimes I come across people on social media that mispronounce a word or misspell a word or misspell a sentence in a caption. People will notice that on social media. There's a lot of critics that see that type of thing on social media. Let's say do you want to expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely want to build trust in your posts, right? Especially Instagram, I look at it as a funnel, right? I know we're not at number 2 or number 1 yet, but it's more like a funnel to your website. So if people like your Instagram, then they're probably going to click in your bio link or whatever link you have to your YouTube page or your website. They're going to go there after. But they build trust on your Instagram page and on your social medias, and then they go to your paid pages, right? So if they see that you're kind of not on point everywhere, they might not click on your bio link, which your bio link might have your YouTube, where you want to get those views. You want to get them coming to your YouTube page, or you want them to come to your website so they can start buying merchandise or services or do a checkout or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I feel like. What they shouldn't do is like that's the most dangerous part is people seeing that you don't have any trust in your page and you can't get them to check out on your YouTube or on your website. They just won't even go that far. But if they love your page, they're gonna want to dig for more and be like, let me get more of this.
Right. And that's the objective, is to get people come to your social media more and more every day. Now, let's get into the do's before we go into number 2. The do's. There are plenty of do's out there. What are your do's to help that person or to help myself as an artist promote their brand successfully? Okay,
well, you want to be, once you start getting start making a few more posts, you want to start understanding what works for you and what you like. And so you want to strategize more of like a weekly game plan. You don't want to be all spontaneous every day. You want to more schedule, for example, on Monday, I would do a bunch of research at nighttime, and I'll probably gather 10 posts or 10 ideas I want to do. But I won't do them all in one day. I might spread them out throughout the next week or two, and then make sure they go up every other day. But every other day, I'm also doing spontaneous posts. Like today, I'm walking my dog, or today, this is what I'm eating. Because I feel like, especially if you're a musician, people aren't only listening to you. Like once they like your music, they want to know what you're eating. They want to know what you're smoking. They want to know what you're buying, what you're wearing, what your dog looks like, what shoes you're rocking today. So there's a lot of things you can engage them with. And then when people come to your shows, is why you understand they're not only there to listen to your music. They want to see you scream. They want to see you jump off the stage. They want to see you, fall. They want to see that's what people came for. So I feel like make sure you show them lots of stuff on your gram, not just like your music and stuff. Because I think now they're into more controversy, especially the listeners, than just listen to your music. They can listen to your music on Spotify, and YouTube all day, and they want to see what you're doing. What kind of dog you got,
what kind of dog you got, or what kind of cat you got, or what cereal you have eaten for
or what
breakfast.
kind of shoes you wearing, or how much you spent, or what kind of car,
Right. Well, now what do you think is another do for people to take heed in? What's another do?
Say that again. What?
Yeah. What is another do when it comes to promoting one's brand on social media? What do you think is another do?
This one is very key. It's like once you start, getting your organic likes, organic things, you got to start learning how to run ad campaigns on your posts. You got to learn how to know where your demographic may be, or what demographic you want to target, what age group. Then you can start running ads. So if you're a musician and you're dropping an album or a music video, you want to specific things. You want to run big campaigns on some of your posts. So and what that does is that it gets you outside of your organic realm, and it gets you people who might have never saw your post or don't know you, and what they do, it puts it in front of them. It puts it in front of a new audience. It makes new audiences get impressions on your videos, and they decide if they want to be a follower or not, to be part of your community. Yeah. So I feel like artists got to understand how to start running ad campaigns at least once a month, and you can run them as low as $1 a day, right? And but I tell people to run it around $10 a day or $20 a day and see how it does for the first week. And if you like it, usually your followers go up and it's real people. You might get sales from it as well too, which is ROI, conversion rate, and it's just part of business. And this is also a tax write-off, advertising and marketing. So once you do the organic stuff, see it working, they're like, okay, it's working, people are engaging with it, then we give a great product. Now it's time to invest and put some advertising dollars and see if you can flip that.
Nice. I like the sound of that. And another do, which I think is also very important on social media, engage with the followers on social media.
Oh, fully. Sometimes for fun, I use my 24-hour junk page because nobody can see who's behind it, and I go see some artists who are up and coming. They have 100,000 followers, and you might have 500 comments, and I might leave them a beautiful comment, and they don't reply back. And I'm just like, okay, You know, maybe they're too big and their manager's running their page, so it's probably not the real person. So already I'm like, okay, I'm not really going to engage that page that much anymore. Or if they don't comment back, I'm like, okay, then they're not really appreciating all their fans. Because I know I've commented on like Gary V's page and like some really big guys, and they actually reply back and like appreciate your comment and like it and be like, yeah, buddy. And that goes a long way, you know, and that only takes that's nothing for anybody to do. So The more you can do that, the more you build a diehard. Instead of a fan, you turn into a supporter. Now, what a supporter does, they'll pay for your GoFundMe page. They'll buy your project. They'll buy a show ticket. A fan will leave you in like a hot girlfriend. You know, she'll leave you fast, man. Like for another guy. You know, that's what a fan's like. They'll go to another one. You know, another artist like next week.
Yeah. Well, that's a very interesting analogy that you used there, but I think we definitely get the point.
You got to make them fall in love, right? You got to make them fall in love, right? So you got to talk back to them, then they fall in love, and that was unconditional love. And they got, you know, now you got support her, but a fan's gonna leave you like a baddie, like Kim Kardashian. He's gonna leave you like that.
Yeah.
That's what a fan go do.
I agree.
Like Black China. She a Black China you.
That is funny. Like I said, a very interesting analogy, and I like how you took it home with that. But for those who are just tuning in to the BV Mobile Apps podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey, we are talking to Mr. William Mutavo, and he is a successful entrepreneur who is now the founder and owner of Heatwave Multimedia Incorporated, which was founded in 2019. He is not only a business owner and an entrepreneur, but he is also a musician, a performer, and his multimedia company specializes in photography, videography, beats, and more. And we are discussing, if you're just tuning in, we are discussing the top 3 tips for promoting your brand to help you become successful. Now, we talked about the social media aspect of things in tip number 3. Let's go to tip number 2. What is in tip number 2?
Tip number 2 is get a website. You must get a website so you're official. Once you get a website, you're officially able to pivot however you want to pivot. You're officially in the market. With a website, it's pretty much like a store. It's like having a store on the block where you have it online. So there's a lot of things you can do with your store. You can put a checkout where you connect your store to an app called Stripe. And then once you connect to Stripe, it can connect to your bank account. So people can just buy things on your site. Once they land on your site, if you have things for sale, if you have services for sale, they can purchase right there, put your debit or credit card in, buy it, goes right into your bank account, sends you a message, somebody bought your stuff, send it out. You know, so not what happens is that once you start seeing traffic on your social media, you want to turn that into ROI, which is return on investment, because you've been doing advertisement, you've been putting sweat equity. Now you want to get something back for that. You need them to come to your website, and then you need to have your terms and your products, and there's going to be an end goal. People want to buy things, so you got to sell them something. Right. So The only place you can really do that, you can't really sell on Instagram unless somebody's DMing you and you're like, okay, let's meet up here. But if you want to sell on your website, that's where people feel safe to give their credit cards, debits, and actually want to do transactions, and then you can land lots of people there. So everything is an end game to get them to your website. So once you get a website, you're able to pivot, play with the world, and is able to get some money and also give lots of value, even give more value, because just to make a website, it takes value to make the website. So we put value on the website, and you know that's the second one. Once you get the website, then you're a big player.
Yeah. A website is very paramount in your brand.
Yeah.
And I think a website will do a lot of people justice for those or visitors to go and find out more about your company. And I know a lot of times in these days, people go to a website to purchase merch or to purchase music items and music material and things of that nature. So a website, ladies and gentlemen, is still relevant in these days and times. Now, as far as the service for the website or whatever resource or company that powers a website, what do you recommend? I know that certain people may feel very skeptical about getting a website because of the cost of getting a website or having to hire a web developer to create your own website. It can be pricey at times. What do you recommend?
Yeah. I recommend that you got to learn how to raise funds for things, right? Like, you also got to, part of being an entrepreneur is that sometimes opportunities come your way and you can't let money turn you away. You got to learn how to find the money. You just got to learn how to ask, work, grind, plan, and you got to raise the funds. And then on top of that, if you don't think you need to hire people to work for you, then your dream's not big enough. Your business won't be big enough. I haven't seen a company that's great in the whole world that doesn't have employees. Like you have to hire specialists. So I mean, like, once you start hiring people, I look at it as scaling. Like, your company just grew. So every time you hire somebody new, your company should be growing now. That person should be helping you bring money. So if you're gonna get a website, you got to invest to make the money, right? So if it's $1,000, you got to figure out how to find that startup capital, and do it. And the funny thing is that lots of people are down to spend $1,000 on partying, on clothing. Just don't shop for the year. Don't party for the year. Buy the damn website. You can party later, right? Like, these are all things that are capable in North America for us to achieve. So if it's the money, you got to put up the money. Everybody else has to put skin in the game. Like, it wasn't free for me. It ain't going to be free for you. It ain't going to be easy. But as long as you can put some activity and some work and some hustle and some skin in the game, then you can move forward. And this is what this is. So if you have a job, save 20% of your paycheck every month for a year and a half, then come and start your website. Because that's what it is, and that's what your story is, right? But you're going to have to pay for a dope website. Now, if you want to do it yourself, you can go ahead and do it yourself. I don't have time for that. I just need things done ASAP. So I just find the money, pay buddy to do it, understand how it works, and I keep moving forward, because it's also a time thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can do both, or you can do one of the other. I know that there are plenty of services out there, from Wix.com to GoDaddy to even WordPress. Some of those resources will allow a person to do or create their own website. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. You could be an artist working 2 jobs and still aspire to do what you want to do, and you will need a team or someone else to help carry the load for you in order to help you promote your brand. So that is a very important part. Yeah.
Well, for me, when I first started for Heatwave Multimedia and for 24-Hour Junk, I started with a $500 website. Actually, I started with a free website for Heatwave Multimedia. Somebody gave me a free website because I did junk removal for them. And they're like, well, I'll put you in a website. So I'm like, yeah, I need that. So she made me a website, and it wasn't SEO compatible with Google. So the 24-Hour Junk website, I got somebody in India to make it for me, and I paid him $500. It was a cool website, but it wasn't getting the conversion rates that I get now with my big websites. So when I first made those first 2 websites, they weren't SEO compatible. They were just a website. It didn't have keywords, hashtags. Google was not rewarding my site. So this is very important if you understand anything about Google, because you want to be on the first or second or third page of Google for your sector, for music, for whatever. Somebody puts up hip hop Atlanta and you're from Atlanta. You want to be on the first 3 pages, but Google won't reward you if your page is not SEO compatible with Google. So what I had to do, I had to put up the big bucks and get the best websites I could possibly afford. I paid around $5,000 to $6,000 for all of my websites. For 24-Hour Junk's website, $6,000. Heatwave Multimedia, $6,000. But the 24-Hour Junk website, for example, is on the second page of Google. So now hundreds of people land on my page organically and do conversions and check out and do sales on that page. And same as Heatwave Multimedia, it's SEO compatible. So you put Heatwave or my music wherever I'm at, mine's going to pop up in the first 2 pages, and I'm going to have more people landing on it compared to being on the 20th page because my website wasn't SEO compatible.
Yeah. Very insightful information. Very insightful. Last but not least, number one, the top number one tip for promoting your brand. What is it?
Run Google ad campaigns and have a budget for that, because that one is the biggest one, I believe, for myself. If you know how to run Google ad campaigns and get conversions on there, I've tried it by myself, but I like to hire specialists so I can avoid wasting time. But there's definitely digital marketing companies which are willing to work with people around the world, and they charge as low as $100 a month, right? So what they do is that they'll do all the Facebook ads for you with the correct aggressive keyword hashtags and everything you need. And what their goal is to draw traffic, a new audience of customers that are searching for what you're selling, and get them to land on your specific page and do a call to action with landing pages and all that stuff, so you can get conversions and get sales every single day. So I believe once you start implementing that to your organic social media influence, to having a website, and now you're running a back-end SEO, Facebook ad, Google ad campaign, if you can do that, you'll start seeing more sales on top of everything else. And then you'll go crazy from there. And then you'll be more noticed, and you'll just have more numbers in the back end to leverage yourself when you want to do deals.
Wow. All right. So just to recap, number 3, be proficient on social media. Be social media savvy. That's number 3. Yeah. Number 2.
And that's free. And
it's free. Right. It's not much money or not too much money invested into social media for you to promote your brand on those platforms, but you definitely want to take advantage of social media while it's out there. And then, of course, number 2 is you have to have a website. I have come across people and other artists and talent in the industry that do not have a website, and they have their social media to make up for their website. But just because you have a social media page doesn't mean that you don't need to have a website. You definitely want to have a website to draw attention to your brand. And number 1, which you made very clear, most importantly, run Google ad campaigns. And Google is conglomerate, is very big, and we use Google all the time. So as an artist, you got to take advantage of the Google ad campaigns as well.
Yeah, so people can find you and be like, oh, he's official.
Make it official. All right. And for those that want to find you, of course, speaking of social media, how can people follow you on social media?
Okay, well, if you want to find me on LinkedIn, you just put William Mutavo, or you put 24-hour junk, or you put Heatwave Multimedia. You send me a message, I'll get back to you. Or, of course, Instagram, you can go 24-hour junk, or, The Real Heatwave on Instagram. Then, of course, I got the website. So you go Heatwave Multimedia, you hit me up on there, or you go 24-hour junk on Google, hit me up on there, and I'll get right at you right away. I got a quick response time. On Facebook, they say I got a 95% 1 hour response time, so I'm pretty fast.
All right. And you have all of that. You have the app. I mean, of course, you have the social media handles and the website, but not to forget to mention the app.
Yeah, the app's amazing. That's a game changer. Once you touch all the 1, 2, 3 points, then you get into the app world. See, most people think an app's gonna cost $70,000, $100,000 to make an app, but you go to BV Mobile, and they'll make it do what it do for you and make it work. So you guys definitely got great prices, great service with the apps. The apps is a game changer for me. It definitely separated me from the pack once again. And put me leading from the front, because not too many people even independent artists for music or in the jungle will have an app, and you guys gave me 2 of them, and they're both cool, helping me build community.
Nice. So the app is available for everybody and anybody that wants to know more about Heatwave Multimedia. Of course, he has the website heatwavemultimedia.com, a very fancy website. with so much information provided in the app. Make sure you download the app to your mobile device and to your smartphone. And for those that may inquire about, a position, a volunteer position or an intern position, and, any other positions that you may be opening up to or offering to talent and for aspiring people looking to get their foot in the door. Any information on that, or, how can people get in contact with you if they want to be a part of Heatwave Multimedia?
Yeah, just send me an email at heatwavemultimedia@gmail.com. And if you're an intern, definitely looking for interns. So, of course, you do great. I'm going to turn into some type of money for you, and it's gonna be fun from there. But yeah, just send me an email. Let me know who you are, what you want to do, and then we'll get on the Zoom, on the call, and we'll start laughing and get to know each other, and we'll make it happen and make it rock and roll.
All right. And you're going to have a great time, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely guarantee you on that. well, Mr. William Mutavo, we really appreciate you for just taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to our listeners and to talk to me about your multimedia company, your endeavors, and most importantly, giving our listeners and myself top 3 tips for promoting your brand, which is very, very important because we want to see people win. We want to see people win. We want to see people get to the top, and we want people to be successful. So we really appreciate you for that.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate you guys too, man.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mr. William Mutavo right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with the architect here, Sean Garvey. Make sure you follow me on all social media at Sean Garvey on Facebook, as well as on Twitter and on Instagram at Sean Garvey ATL. And don't forget to check out our website, bvmobileapps.com, if you want to know more information about how you can get your app customized through us. We got additional details and more coming up in just a few moments, but we really appreciate you for taking the time to listen to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. I want to thank my producer, Eamon Khan, for helping out with the production of this podcast and so much more. And continue on listening. And until the next time, we will talk to you soon. Take care.
It's a new year. It's a new day. We're starting it over. Starting the day.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey. For more information about BV Mobile Apps, visit the website, bvmobileapps.com. Don't forget to follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Tune in again next time on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast.